So Moonfall, amazing disaster sequences, I will say. Astounding cinematography. And you would have to convince me otherwise. The only way it could have possibly been built was around the disaster sequences. There are way too many fucking plot lines in this movie. You got this whole ass plot line going on with this nerd. You got this guy's son fucking up half of the movie. And then you got this chick right here, this freaking astronaut right here is up in space singing Africa by Toto. And he notices that a giant piece of AI machinery is running towards him. So he stops singing Africa by Toto and watches his friend die. This thing then goes and burrows into a specific part of the moon that, even though this guy acts like a dumbass the rest of the movie, he pronounces this better than I could. The fucking Capris Mornicus or whatever. Gets back down to Earth, and NASA, it's in a way they've never done before, in this insane conspiracy that would never happen. NASA covers up the evidence. This guy is said that he just killed his friend instead of this massive piece of machinery hurtling towards him. Oh, and this chick was also there, but she was unconscious. So 10 years later, this guy is working at a Hardee's, and he discovers that the orbital path of the moon is off. Okay. So this Hardee's worker discovers that the orbital trajectory of the moon is off through research of his own, because he's dreamed of doing this all his life, and he's more qualified than the fucking people that hire these guys. But he works at Hardee's. So, like, he's really good at math. But I guess that just turned out to get him at Hardee's. Fucking trying to save the earth. Okay. So this guy's gonna fucking kill himself. This guy goes to a school where he's giving a presentation that he's drunk and trying to be evicted out of his apartment. And this guy goes to the kids and pretends to be him. And then this guy shows up and says, "What the fuck?" And then this guy gives him a bunch of papers that this guy later gets out of the dumpster and realizes that this guy is correct about the orbital path thing. This is not explained any better in the movie. Okay. And then this chick right here fucking divorces her husband off a whim, has a whole ass child that both of them are not taken care of. It's in like a Humvee with this guy's kid, trying to get to Colorado while the fucking moon falls apart and crashes into the fucking earth. Okay. So there's this guy's son has a whole ass plot line trying to get her daughter back to her fucking ex-husband's military base so they don't blow up the moon with nukes. Something. They get a fucking spacecraft from a museum, and this guy was brought along to do real-time trajectories, and when they asked him to do it, he couldn't. And then they go inside the fucking moon. Probably the best part in this movie. This guy's kid gets arrested for speeding on his 18th birthday, goes to prison, breaks out of prison because the fucking moon's falling. Moonfall. And when he's given the keys to a Humvee, someone looks at him and goes, "Or do you know how to drive this thing?" And he goes, "Just so you know, my license has been revoked." Speeds out of there, fucking moon crashing into the earth. The rocket's going up into the space. The helicopter drives right into the ocean. All of these guys get it up into space. Well, we have fucking Bird Box going on in the background with their children down on Earth. None of them mention their kids while they're up in space trying to save humanity. They go into the hole in the moon with a spacecraft that they can't use any electronics, so they have to like orbit it manually, which apparently is so hard that only this guy can do it. And everyone else on Earth has given up. There is no talk from China. Japan don't give a fuck. India never heard of the moon. You got these three are the only people who fucking care to save humanity at this point. Which I don't care. Like literally, she fucking told everyone to go home. They weren't gonna save the world. And then fucking 45 minutes later, they're 60 miles into the atmosphere. She's like, I'm sorry. Everyone, thank you for all your hard work in trying to save humanity. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out. Go home to your loved ones. Everyone fucking drives away. 45 minutes later, this guy's like, the Hardy's guy says the moon's too heavy. She fucking is like, okay, yeah, that's a good point. She looks a lot like the Rock without a hair in this. And then this guy's like, I don't know, whatever. Go up into space. Go through a hole in the moon. Turns out the moon's a megastructure. This guy who works at Hardee's is actually a doctorate in megastructures, which he self-admittedly just made up. So if anyone says they're a megastructurist, refer them to. And they got to go inside because this AI is controlling the moon. It's going to crash it into the Earth. The moon is also an AI that's competing against this AI, but it's too bitch to beat it. So these guys gotta fucking beat it with their dinky little rocket ship and their fucking banned 1980s EMP that all these alien races who figured out how to populate the entire fucking galaxy couldn't beat these things, but the little stupid humans on Earth that they seeded had an experimental rocket in the 80s that can save everything. So they go, and then once they get inside the moon, this guy goes all fucking interstellar with the bookshelf and learns, and his son tells him that he needs to save the world. So they lure away the AI like it's a fucking stupid ass fish. Like it totally isn't cognizant enough to rule the entire fucking galaxy. Like it isn't self-sufficient enough, so it gets lured with bait. A fucking primitive method of hunting. And then this guy is going to kill himself because you have to have a human sacrifice in order for this to work. A lot of details there, but we're going on. And then this guy says, not me. And he fucking kills himself with the EMP into the thing. But it's okay because his consciousness gets uploaded into the moon with his mom and his cat. And then these two fucking go down to Earth. She starts fucking him. And then this guy's grandma says, hey, we got a lot of work to do. That's the end of the movie. And there's nothing else. It's an amazingly bad, good movie. This guy was also in Game of Thrones. This guy, if you didn't notice.